Good morning, brothers and sisters. Have you shouted for joy today? You did? Your heart must be very happy. It's true. Rightly, we shall be very happy, for we're the most blessed one in this universe. I'd like to share about the value of man this week. We'll take a look from the Bible and from God's point of view. How high is the value of you and I? Where did I get this idea from? It's because when I draw near to the Lord on Sunday morning before the bread-breaking meeting, I thought of my value in God's heart was priceless. My heart was so happy, and I thought of many verses in the Bible. Those verses has made known to me of my position in God's heart. I'd like to share these verses this week. Firstly, not a single one to be missed. Do you remember that as mentioned in the Bible that 2 sparrows sold for a penny and 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? Seems it was being disproportionate. It should be 4 sparrows sold for 2 pennies. But if you're willing to buy more, so buy 4 and get 1 free, then it seems that one of them is worthless. But the Bible said, and not one of them is forgotten before God. Not only the 5th one was priceless, but dragged down the price of other sparrows. Every sparrow should worth half a penny, but 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies. That means each sparrow worth 0.4 penny. When we think of our life, if we are not changed by the Lord, we shall be in negative equity and be a burden on others. But even this sparrow is not forgotten before God. How precious! Did you remember in the Gospel according to Luke chapter 15 mentioned about this parable of the lost coin? She lost 1 out of 10 silver coins. She would light a lamp and seek diligently until she finds it. Not only a single one to be missed. A man who has 100 sheep and lost one of them, he would go after the one that was lost, but leave the 99 behind. It was because that's not a single one to be missed. How precious! Our value wasn't given by others, but we cannot be missed in God's heart. That means we're unique. Our value must be very high, and there is nothing can be replaced. Brothers and sisters, many people judge man's value by their outward appearance, whether they're pretty or not, or people would judge man's value by their abilities, whether they're really something. But God never sees us like this. God never look at the appearance. As long as I'm unique in God's heart, then I'm one of the single one not to be missed. Brothers and sisters, can you see you are unique as well? You are not to be missed. No matter how people sees us, we are the single one not to be missed in God's heart. Brothers and sisters, let's give thanks together. We shall give thanks, for we are so unique in God's heart. May the Lord bless us. Brothers and sisters, the verses I'd like to share with you is in Psalms 139, verse 23 to 24. And it said, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any grievous way in me, and lead me in a way everlasting." Sometimes you will hear people say, "This is what the Bible said, didn't you know?" Or, "Oh, please, you shall do according to the Bible. Don't you know the Bible asks you to walk an extra mile?" When you heard what they said, you might think those people really respect the Bible and love the truth. But if they ask others to walk in the Bible but not themselves, then they not truly love the truth, and they are not truly embrace the truth. Therefore, if we heard that we really love the truth, it means we really willing to practice it out, but not just ask others to walk in the truth. So we should examine ourselves that are we really implementing the truth. I really like these verses. This was a very sincere conversation. He asked God to examine himself to see if he has anything in lack. The brothers and sisters who doesn't have much growth spiritually, they usually have a blind spot that they feel good about themselves. Then they won't examine themselves, and that's why they don't know their current situation. Their spirit will have the dedication slowly, have no progression at all, and left behind. It is very dangerous when the spirit have to fall back, and the enemy will easily tempt you, attack you, or you even may stumble. Brothers and sisters, our spirit needs to be renewed and to be transformed continually. We have to step on the everlasting way to be close with the Lord, so that we know what does God want me to do. In order we can look into our life, so that we know our spiritual condition, we can have the same calling to God like David. If our mind have any temptation, have any evil conduct, brothers and sisters, do not be afraid. If we know about it, we can rely on the Lord. When we are willing to step on the everlasting way, this trial, bad idea, evil conduct, or the thought which make us to be apart from God, all these things will flee away from us. How precious! David was the one who would look into himself in order he can satisfy the Lord. And Paul was the same. In the book of Philippians chapter 3 mentioned, "Not that I have already obtained this or am already perfect, but I press on to make it my own." He said, "But one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and stinging forward to what lies ahead, I press on towards the goal." Therefore, brothers and sisters, when we read the Bible, we shall demand ourselves, but not others. I'd like to tell you a story. There was a seminar was held in a university. The professor who was doing the speech was very famous. The posters was out for 2 days only, but the response was overwhelming. The students want to take a look at this famous professor. For just 10 minutes before the speech, the students start to enter into the hall and be seated. When they enter into the entrance, they saw there was a banana peel lying on the floor of the entrance. They all stepped across it and complained about the banana peel at the same time. "Who is this selfish guy that left this banana peel on the floor?" Everyone who has entered the hall, one by one, they step across the banana peel. They were grumbling and complaining about it. When they all have seated, they're still talking about it, even when the professor has entered into the hall. The professor also noticed the banana peel. He lifted up his glasses, and everyone was silent. They all wait and see how the professor has react. When he saw the banana peel was under his foot, and he broke the temper, he shouted loudly to the banana peel and said, "Banana peel, what are you doing here? Are you supposed to sleep in a rubbish bin? You have no sense of civility at all. Don't you know that you are very equal unfriendly? If someone step on you, he'll slip and fall. Don't you know what will happen? This professor has scolded Banana Peel seriously. All the students were laughing out loud. This professor didn't take any notice, but got angry at the Banana Peel. Then the students lost their patience and said to the professor, "Let's drop it, Professor. You can't scold the banana peel and it will go back to the bin." This professor then picked up the banana peel and put it in the rubbish bin in front of the podium. He cleansed his hand with a tissue and said, "Can that student repeat what he just said?" Everyone in the hall was so quiet, and the professor said, "I heard you said you cannot scold the banana peel to go back to the rubbish bin. What you said is quite right. This is the topic of my speech today." The video on the screen has shown how the students was entering the entrance. Everybody acted like a fool. The students stepped across the peel and they all complained. The banana peel still stay on the ground. The professor has made use of this situation to tell the students. This session was especially set up to reason with you all. Actually, you all have understood and finally spoke out. But it is a simple thing for you to understand, but nobody can do it. I believe all of you who seated here, by the complaint you have made, could persuade the banana peel to go back to the rubbish bin. But all of you have took no action. It is actually an easy thing to change the current situation, but nobody is willing to do it. Instead, you complain about the heartless of others. Are you being heartless? We said people are selfish. Why are people littering? Well, we have to think, are we selfish as well? Brothers and sisters, we will face something which we do not want to see, or we might see some deeds of brothers and sisters which are not according to God's will. But what kind of attitude shall we have? Shall we look into ourselves first? And have we drawn near to the Lord well? Have we relied on God? When we complain of brothers and sisters who didn't rely on God, or they are faithless, but what about our spiritual status? Brothers and sisters, we shall support each other, but not complaining each other. In order to change the current situation, we shall do our part first. Brothers and sisters, let's strive together to make God's household and this society even more beautiful. May the Lord bless us.